Hey guys, it's Wades here. Welcome to NBA TopShot Hour. Tonight, this morning, wherever you are, might be a long one, just because there's a few comments coming in on the back of that question, Twitter post, tweet, whatever you prefer, that I put out earlier. So that's pretty cool. We'll get to that in a few minutes. Before that, today is the 13th of Feb. It's about 11:40 p.m. on a Saturday night in Australia. Bitcoin is at 47,000. Ethereum is 1,800, both up. What is going on in the NBA TopShot land in terms of volume? 1.3 mil over the last 24 hours. 7 days is 11.5. A nice little up 5% over the previous 7 days. And 30 days, we're tracking to about $58 million. Yeah, all time 62. So some very, very serious numbers. In terms of the top sales in the NFT land, only one Top Shot has cracked the top 15. So in order to crack the top 15, you would have needed to transact $24,000 or more in sales or sale. So there was one, a bit of a controversial one, because Kawhi Leonard Holo Season 2, number 1, sold for $41.5 earlier today. So one of the guys put out there's probably a few posts out today on the Twitter land and so forth. But one of the guys put out, would you guys buy this? Do you see value? What else would you buy? I mean, I said, for me personally, it seems like quite a bit to pay for something in Season 2, minted to 99, especially given there's quite a bit of value to peers in Season 1 especially. So, not to talk down at anyone's decision making and all that sort of thing, and obviously it's someone's money, so I've got to be careful with that. But part of what we do, is discuss value, and so we educate ourselves through some of these discussions, and people that are listening. So, for me, what would I do if I had the 41.5? So let's just have a quick look at the marketplace. I haven't gone through this, but the first place I'd look to would be the Cosmic Season 1. So just see what's available there in terms of lowest to highest. So lowest descending, ascending. Okay, so we've got, you can already see there's a few there. So you could pick up quite a few of the bottom barrel players. 2,800, 29, 3, 35, 37. So I'm not really interested in that. Let's see what some of the better players are going for. Okay, so you got Jimmy at 16, Jokic 25, Tatum. So there is a Kawhi Leonard Cosmic for 47 floor. So let's just see what mint that is. Obviously, it's massively different. In terms of mint number, this one's 21. So you got, it's not really comparable, but it's also cosmic. It's Season 1. That is his rookie, or first play, I should say. So what sort of value does that carry? Ja Morant, I like that, given he's a rookie and all those sort of things. So Zion is also there at 42. I mean, man, that's a tough one. You could maybe get a 10. It's listed for 55. If you potentially get it for 45, I don't know, but it just seems like, to me, I know what I would do. I would absolutely not spend that much on Season 2. I don't care what the mint is. I would easily go to Season 1 and just pick apart the metallic gold, pick apart the cosmics, try to negotiate with a few people, especially at that level. Dapper Credit, ETH, Cash, Tulips, whatever you want to spend, at that level, you've got some negotiating power. So that's what I would do personally. And I like to diversify a little bit too. So I'd go the full $40,000 on one moment, I probably wouldn't. Looking at the cosmics, definitely metallic gold. So if we go to some of the more expensive moments, it'll take a while to scroll there, but so there's quite a few in the $200 to $300 range. Look at some of the rookies there, see what they're going for. Westbrook at 400, it's reasonable. Westbrook at 400, and then you got Markieff Morris at 420. Kendrick Nunn is a rookie, so that's probably a little bit more the reason why that's a little bit higher than some of the superstars that aren't rookies. You've got, so you could pick up again some decent metallic gold for $40,000. That's for sure. Tyler Hero, Dame, Porzingis. That's a reward for $1,500. Trae Young $1,500. All of these have dropped from that. Booker for $2,000. Ja Morant for $4,500. Hey, look at Steph Curry. That's crazy. That's one that I'd go, oh man. Same as Luka. Would you have that one Kawhi Leonard Season 2 Holo number 1? Or would you have 6, what is that? 7? Let's say 7. That's about 7. Steph Curry metallic golds. So the way I look at this when I buy stuff, obviously at a much lower level of value, is you look at and I think this would be a good segue into the other one that I wanted to just mention. You just look at what's the downside risk compared to the upside. So what's the downside risk on that Holo Season 2? Look, there is actually some downside risk on that particular one. If you look at the flip it, within the next little while, there is definitely downside risk on that compared to, say, in this case, if you just literally went for 7 Steph Curry metallic golds. Like, what's the downside risk from at $6,000 compared to the upside? The upside's easily double that. Whereas, do you see the Holo going to 2x in relatively short period of time? I personally don't. Who knows? Might be wrong. Which sort of gives me a bit of a segue into the, I think, what was it, Andy or one of the other guys posted about the LeBron, which one, would you buy for the highest return? I think there was metallic and, all the usual suspects. And for me, it was just the cheapest one. That was all $94, I think it is at the moment. And it might even be still CC, so it's not limited yet. But the key thing there for me was actually the play itself, the No Look 3. So I think that's one of the better, if not in the top 3 of the entire NBA TopShot. It's LeBron, so it'll always carry value. The downside risk on that one is nothing almost. Where's it going to go from $90? Even if it keeps going, like it might go to 50. Big deal. You haven't lost a lot. Whereas the upside again, it's a potential 10x. So it's more work. If you had, say, the $15,000 to invest in these moments to be able to buy the metallic gold or some of the base ones, what do I see? As the biggest returning investment. I see probably that one, to be honest with you. It's a lot more work because you've got to go out and buy it. You've got to be able to sell it. But the counter argument to that is we possibly going to have also that diversification, some of that downside protection as well, some of that more liquidity options, because it's easy to sell one or two, just undercut someone. Whereas if you've got that 15 grand, you've only got one LeBron metallic gold, so you have to have. It's just like property. If you look at something for $3 million, you're only going to have a handful of buyers that have that sort of bankroll to be able to buy that piece of property. Whereas as an investor in property, you'd sort of want to look at that $400,000 to $600,000 range, at least in this sort of country, where it's reasonable to rent out and also reasonable, you've got the biggest cluster of buyers that can afford to buy that, quite quickly. So no different to here, just that's my opinion. So enough of the rant on that one. I just wanted to take you guys through what I thought about the, on the Holos too, with the 41, if I had that, that's what I'd spend it on. I'd buy the entire set of whatever it is, 27 now, which I believe are probably going from the 50s, 50,000. So you'd be short on the buying the entire set of Holos, but the return on that is going to be pretty significant because you've got some decent reward moments there. Trae Young, I can't remember who the other ones were, but they were pretty good. So that's what I'd personally do with the 41 if I did have it. You've got the added value there of the rewards as well. So some of these. Okay, so just a quick word on the metallic gold challenge. I think it's Larry Nance it's going at the moment. So you can see there what the values are. Patty Mills 265. I'm not going to go through all of them. They're roughly all around the 2 to 250 mark. The ones that are a bit higher, which makes no sense at all. Rajon Rondo at 637. Same mint, marquee. Okay, maybe some championship hangover there. I don't know. Bol at 580. Rookie. I get that reasoning why. The rest of them are reasonably priced. So I think I added it up earlier. It was about that's the actual sum there, $3,318. So as opposed to Dwight Howard, which was going for about 8, this is much more reasonable. So, if you guys are looking at completing this Metallic Gold 18 challenge to get Larry Nance, which will probably be worth between $400 to $700, if you could somehow rent a couple of these and preferably, like the Rondo of the world, so pay your 15-20% of that floor price, which would be about $120, and buy up the rest of them. Say, argument's sake, that'll drive that cost down to about $2,600. I don't see massive drop off for most of these moments from these prices. You might lose probably even under 10%. So with this particular one, it does look attractive. Larry Nance is not going to, it's not going to be a massive, potential there, especially if you want to liquidate that moment. It might take a little while, but in terms of you'll get a decent reward. It'll probably be in profit by a little bit, and the upside there is obviously playing the mint game. So if you get something under 50, for example, it'll be worth a little bit more. The downside to that is it's just going to sell. It's going to take a little while to sell someone like him, as opposed to Trae Young or Steph Curry, obviously. So this one's not looking actually too bad for value. Metallic Gold. I mean, I won't be completing it at all because my focus is purely on the Holo challenges now, and I'll do another video that I want to do a special little one just talking through some of that, and just to document my transition through the Holo challenge, because I didn't get a pack. I've had to buy. I've got about 5 now, I think. I've either had to trade through, and some of the strategies that I've used, some have worked reasonably well, but I think in terms of value that I've given away too much just to get some responses in terms of trades. I don't necessarily want to pay for any of it. I want to use what I've got to either sell or trade. So I want to take you guys through that, see how long it actually takes to put together 27 moments. So I think that'll be somewhat interesting. So on to the Holo Challenge that's currently going on, the Trae Young. So you guys could see, sorry about that extra sound. So you guys can see what's going on there. Marcus Smart, Gordon Hayward, Andre Drummond, Tim Hardaway Jr., Mr. Grant, Anthony Davis, Brandon Ingram, DeAndre Ayton, and DeJounte Murray. So in terms of the total cost, let me just bring this up. So that's what it looks like there. I've just copy pasted some of those tiles into just to show you my copy paste screenshot snipping tool skills. Much better than LG's. So the cost is $19,003. So just circling back to the front, and the reason why I want to do the challenge is because there hasn't been a time before where a legendary drop, yes, it is to 99. There hasn't been a time where there's been such wide circulation of these moments on the marketplace. So you look at these listings here. Marcus Smart 38 listings, Gordon Hayward 30. Most of them around the 30 mark, almost identical, with Grant being 39 the highest. So what that tells me, and this was much higher, a little bit higher actually, not much higher, a little bit higher early on. So what that tells me is that the market, in terms of pricing, is going to be valued at as sort of fair value as you can get, because there isn't, like in the previous challenge, especially season 1, where you've had some of the whales there, they could buy 30 packs of this thing or whatever it is and just hoard the moments, similar to the Curry challenge from Metallic Gold, where you had people just buy up all the different moments for $10 and then drove the price up for what was it, Fournier for like $4,000. It's just ridiculous. He's trading at $215 now. So here it's a bit different, because it's just the distribution of these moments is quite wide, because obvious reasons. We only could get one pack. So you've got a lot of different owners, a few that want to potentially cash out. They bought the $1,000 pack. Hopefully they hit something decent. Just on the legendary drop, they definitely made their money back and profited something. Then you've got the 3 metallic golds and the base moments. So it's quite successful for a lot of people. That's why I'm keen on this, because I believe it is it's effectively priced at the moment, and where is it really going to drop from here if it does drop post challenge? So you can see what I've done there. The now is obviously the current pricing, current floor pricing. That's just smart, and the list goes. It doesn't really matter what it is. It adds to 19,500. So for me, I'm thinking, okay, post reward, how much is it really going to drop? I think maybe it'll drop to those. So the key ones in there, really, there's only one. It's Anthony Davis. So he's at 5,300 now floor. If it drops, maybe it drops to about 42. So that's I got 45. I'll change it to 42. So the post reward total drops to about 15.2. I think that's a reasonable estimate. We'll do a video 10 days from now, because there's 9 days left, just to see how close we got. I mean, I was on the ball in terms of a couple of the previous challenges, and where I said don't do them because it's going to drop. The Dwight Howard one, I was right in terms of the direction, but I was quite a bit off in terms of how much loss of that was going to be. It lost like 90-80% of value. So that was absolutely horrible to see. This one is a bit different, I think, and especially long term. You look at the long term holos. I don't know what other legendary sets are going to come out, but holos have that history because cosmic is cosmic, but the holos have, I think, will mature quite well because they have that longevity. They've got the history from season one, so there's some sort of like pedigree there as well, and I think it'll mature well into the years with the collectors, because a lot of the whales that collected in the early days, they do have holo sets or one or two that will continue to, I believe anyway, to some degree, put them together because they can afford to. Similar to, I don't consider myself one of those, but I can sell, a reasonable portion of my account to fund this now. And that's what I said in some of the videos earlier on. This is my now time to consolidate, with some level of intelligence. Quite difficult for me to do, but to consolidate some of those 7,000 moments into some of these now, and that's what I've done. I've given away quite a bit of value and we'll talk about that next time, but moving on to this one, post reward, if we equalize these values in terms of not losing anything, so we're going to do that. So we need to have Trae Young be valued about 4,200. So if Anthony Davis is valued at 4,200 at 99 mint, and my guesstimate on the mint size for Trae Young is about 55. That is a complete guess. Like, I've pulled that out of thin air. He will absolutely all day long be worth 4,200 because he's probably a more popular player than Anthony Davis, if you're going to use that sort of as a bit of yardstick in value. And obviously his mint size is going to be lower. So I think it's a no-brainer if you can afford these things. It's absolutely no-brainer if you can rent one of these out, or a couple. If you could rent Anthony Davis out, that value goes from 4,200 to 1,000, 1,500 maybe. Even if you have to pay 1,500 for him to get the Trae Young, that brings it down into a potential profit, in terms of the overall set of these things. Yes, you don't have the Anthony Davis, but you've got the reward. And then obviously the big one is if you can hit a mint jersey, whatever it is, that one will be worth price of a small car. So, all the best to you guys. I would encourage you to consider putting that one together. Give me maybe like 4 days before you start buying any of these. I would really, really appreciate that, because I've noticed, not that I have much pull in this game, but I've noticed sometimes when I say some of these things, some of those moments do get bought up and I end up losing. So, give me 4 days, please. So, look, that's the end of that one. Metallic gold and the holo look pretty good to me, pretty good value. So, give it a crack, son. So, what else did I want to go through? I think the Twitter thing, probably all I had. That's what I said to you guys. I need some fill in my time with some content. Give me some questions. All right, so let's see. That's Twitter here. Jesus, there's quite a few by the looks of it. You can see the ones I've liked. So that stops probably somewhere up here. I think Plunge had about 40 questions for me. Jesus, mate. All right, so let's start taking these. So the directive was, give me something to talk about, because I've got nothing else. I do have stuff to talk about. I just wanted to have a little bit of fun. Going too far. Let's just see if I can bring. Oh, that's the insect one. Yeah, good one. Good one, Plunge. That was a classic. Great show, by the way, today, guys. I unfortunately caught maybe the last 10 minutes of Sonic being on there. I really wanted to catch that, so I don't know if the recording's going to be made available, but it'll be awesome to see. So I've gone too far. Come on. Get it together. Way too far. Alright, let's see if I can bring this up. 38 comments. Jesus. Okay. This is the one. This might take a while. Okay, so I'm going to read these out and see how we go. I like this one from Alan Double. So he said, Plunge Father obviously has superpower of unclogging toilets with plungers. Makes sense. Choose another household item and the superpower you have with it. So I'm imagining Plunge chasing me down with a plunger. Only one, because that's all I've seen in his little, images. So all I'd really do, to be quite frank with you, is just throw 2 toilets at him. I mean, he can only plunge 1 at a time, so I'm pretty sure I could outrun him with 2 toilets. Even have to carry 2 toilets. It's game over for you, buddy. So, can you play Baby Shark to fill the airtime? I would love to. Only thing is, I'm probably at that suicidal level when it comes to Baby Shark, because I've got 2 kids. One's 11, one's 5. So that age gap between the 2 of them, just got over one of them, and then I had to go through all that shit again. So probably not. Like I said, if I could steal producer Coop from the boys from the Own the Moment, we could make some magic happen, if you know what I mean. Adam Strong, one of our buddies from Discord. What are you wearing? I'm wearing just a pair of pants and a t-shirt. So nothing too exciting, buddy. How much can you bench? I can bench probably a small European car. What else? V-Fire asks, 2 inches, comments, 2 inches wide, 2 inches thick, 6 inches long, and drives women wild and crazy. That's an interesting one. Boomerang? I did see boomerang, so I'm gonna go with the boomerang. I have no idea. My mind's just going somewhere else at this point in time, so I'm just trying to steer clear of that. So yeah, good one. Your best seasoning for a steak. The truth is, probably pepper steak. Not much I can come up with there. So nothing funny about that one. In the beginning, so my friend Goran asks, in the beginning I didn't tell anything about TopShot to my wife. Very smart man. Because I knew how she would react on some virtual stuff and spending money. Very smart, my buddy. Very smart. I fell in the trap of telling my wife about all this. Not that, like she doesn't really give a shit with me playing around with digital internet money. But she did. She did, my friends. Very much so. What was your case? So, I've been obviously in the TopShot game for a little while. So 7-8 months now of me telling her about this stuff. She's probably at a point of leaving me, which I really can't blame. But the joke's on her. It's like that meme Steve put out the other day, they don't know the account balance of my TopShot account. a bit like that. So, I'll probably win out on that one if she did. But no, she wouldn't. So I've been telling her on and off, and she's like, yeah, I'm happy for you. You've got your little buddies on the internet, whatever. You sound happy, so it's all good. So let me tell a little story, because this is a bit out of this world, right? So she knows about it. She knows how successful it's been. I've cashed out a couple of dollars here and there thanks to some of my Australian friends. I'm trying to avoid taxes and the government, so it's just gone sort of straight to the bank account. I probably shouldn't have said that. Anyway, so last weekend, Saturday night last weekend, would have been probably about Saturday as well, went shopping for clothes, just some random stuff. And because during the day, during the sort of 12 to 3 o'clock, or thereabouts, it's prime time on Discord and the internet, because I think that's in America anyway, that's probably like 8 to 12, somewhere around that time zone. So, everyone's on, I'm not on. So I constantly get messages, just get hit for these sort of things, and it's hard to avoid Twitter, and my wife, she understands now there's a little bit of business involved here too, because if I can, get a sale or two, it helps pay the bills. Not really, because I don't rely on this money whatsoever, but it's nice. It's like a nice to have. So we're walking through the shop, and I'm on my phone. In my previous life, if I'm on my phone, going walking through a shop and with my wife, she'd probably throw me over the balcony in about 3 seconds, right? So, but this time, and like we're walking through a bit of traffic, a few people, and it's quite busy. I still can't believe this happened, really. She grabs my hand and she goes, "Come on, I'll lead you through the traffic." I shit you not. I wanted to put her on Twitter. I thought, but that's what happened. So instead of, her grabbing and throwing me over the balcony, and, I'm sort of looking up going, like, what just happened? So I'm thinking maybe she'll just lead me through an escalator and just push me over, because she's pissed that I'm on my phone the whole time. She's like, no, she goes, "Come on, I'll lead you through the traffic so you can do what you're doing." Oh, what the... Anyway, so that's my long explanation there, but I thought that was quite fitting that you asked that. So I did see a question. I thought I gotta tell you guys about that one. So TopShot is, I don't know. I've said it before. It's like a religion. I don't want to go there because maybe a bit disrespectful to some people, but it's an interesting force. All right, so Monsieur MacD, sun up to sun down. I don't know. Looks like Elmo smoking some crack. Let's just say that's a spoon of TopShot moments. I think we've all been there. Not proud of that moment. Arsonic asks, this is a serious question, so this has disqualified him from the draw of a surprise moment, which we'll do shortly. How do you feel about putting pineapple on pizza? I don't know if I really want to answer this question, because it's going to alienate my 13 followers. It's probably going to be like 3 to 10, but I fall probably in the 3. I do put pineapple on my pizza. I do quite like a bit of a chili, jalapenos and all that sort of stuff. So I do put something to balance that out, to extinguish that fire. And I find that pineapple does that. So I quite like the sweet and sour type of taste. So I know half of you people out there going, or probably more than half, going, "Oh, this is it." I draw the line here. So I probably lost, thanks to you, buddy, my 7 followers. But I've strengthened the relationship with my other 6. So take that as you will. Lunder asks, would Trae draw a charge if someone just ran by him really fast and the wind knocked him over? Look, I don't think Trae Young has played defense in his entire life. So for him to be even, considered to be drawn a charge is probably a small miracle. So he probably would draw a charge if someone went really fast by him. No, he wouldn't actually, because the refs wouldn't give him the benefit of the doubt. So no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't draw a charge. Does everyone in Australia own a boomerang? Asks TJ. Legislation came into force, about 20 years ago, where you legally could not own a boomerang. So, no, we don't. We'd love to, because who doesn't want to own a boomerang? But legally we can't, mate. So I don't know what the reasoning for that is, but no, there are no boomerangs. It's it's a fairy tale. So Billy Peters asks, do you call backboard every single time? Even if I'm shooting from straight to the top of the key, you got to cover your bases just in case it goes off the backboard. You're good. Plunge Father says this is an underrated tweet. So what's he talking about? All right. Danny Ooks says, I need advice on what to do with this rare single reverse, family size, single stuffed. Sounds pretty enticing, actually. Oreo, I pulled the other day. Not as rare as the coveted double reverse, but a fire pull nonetheless. Long-term hold or quick flip? I mean, these are the questions we really got to get to the bottom of. So, and he's provided some images there too. So the one on the left looks like a standard Oreo, but from what I know, in Australia we do, we don't get a lot of mail coming in because we are, remote to the rest of the world. So, we see, this sort of stuff on TV every now and then. I do, I have seen an Oreo to the left. This monstrous Oreo to the right, I have not seen before. So, my tendencies when it comes to these sort of things gravitate to the stuff I've never tried before. So this thing on the right looks quite impressive. So what's the asking there? Not as rare as the coveted double reverse, but a 5-pull nonetheless. I mean, you're getting into this weird space when you start referring to everything you pull from a package as a pull, right? But that's what's happening. Like I'm walking around looking at, I see people on their phone going, that motherfucker's on. I guarantee he's on TopShot. So I walk past them and he's not. He's just going on Facebook. How disappointing. So that's the world we live in these days. Everything's related to TopShot or Discord, but mainly TopShot. So look, rare or otherwise common, just keep them both. They will age well. You probably should have opened them. You probably could have got more for the pack if you didn't open it, but anyway, who's going to blame you? I mean, I hate that sort of thing. I mean, I open everything and just enjoy the moments, so to speak. Anyway, getting a bit too worked up over this. Fred Amit says, is Holo Trae Young YT Chan the new hip hop band? Holo Trae YT. It's actually not a hip hop band. It's a South Korean karaoke group. So yeah, Holo Trae Young YT Chan coming right at you. All right. So if your dog poops in the woods, Alan, double with the double. You can only have one entry, Alan, but I will read it out anyway. If your dog poops in the woods off the main track and no one is around, do you pick it up? Alan, I'm a bit offended. Of course I would pick it up. I'd pick it up and I'd take it to the main track and leave it there. Scott Matus, would you rather be a clown who distracts the bull or the cowboy who rides the bull? That's a good question. Sort of gravitates towards a serious question there because, I think admittedly we probably all thought about this one. So being a clown myself, I can relate to this. So would I be a clown who distracts the bull? There's quite a bit of risk in that, you could end up worse for wear, or would you be the cowboy who rides it? Well, I don't know. I mean, I've got a pretty good mid-strength, core strength area, so I reckon I could give it a good shot riding the bull. So, look, again, similar to how I evaluate the TopShot market, you got to look at the downside to the upside. In this case, there is absolutely no upside whatsoever, so you just got to look at the downside. I mean, as a clown, man, there is a lot of downside to ride it, to get in front of a bull. So I'd probably prefer to ride one. Thank you very much, Scott. Favorite drink when you make a big sale? Asks TK. It's a good question, my friends. I mean, I enjoy Hennessy, and I actually have a bottle right next to the computer. I'll prove it to you. That's the genuine Hennessy bottle. So that's what I enjoy. Big sale or no big sale, you have a Hennessy anyway. So Zebras, do you think Trae Young would be able to get a defensive stop against Jokic by tickling him? That's a good question. I'm going to like that one. Again, Trae Young is not known for his defensive prowess. Tickling, we've seen some proof of that, and with Luka and with Jokic, he's quite a nimble man. So I don't know if you could actually catch him to tickle him. So I'd probably say no, he wouldn't get a defensive stop against him. Jokic is just too, especially for a big guy, just way too smooth. Like it's I mean, I know in the old former Yugoslavia that the kids they make him run through minefields and chase grenades. So that's potentially how he got his nimbleness. But yeah, I doubt Trae could even catch him to be able to tickle him. So Mint Fresh, why does lemon grab yell so much? I have no idea what that means, but potentially because it's so zesty. I have no idea. Let's go with that. Will the Holo Trae be available in the next $9 drop? I certainly hope not, Drick. I certainly hope not, because if I put together one of those things, I hope it's worth more than $9, because my assessment that I just did 10 minutes ago is going to go to shit. Brady Seaman. Jeez, it's a long one here. Is there a rule against kissing as a crunch time strategy in the NBA? I'll stop that one right there. Is there a rule against kissing as a crunch time strategy in the NBA? Well, I hope not. I mean, I don't know. Do you mean kissing the coach or the players on your team, opposition? I think might be like a technical foul, to be honest, Brady. But anyway, let's see what else you have to say. Like if Jokic just dribbled down and started kissing Paul Millsap's forehead, the defense wouldn't know what to do, and now Jamal Murray is wide open for a three. I don't know, something to think about. I mean, look, that is definitely something to think about. I think, honestly, it's something that probably coaches rarely, think about. It's an underrated strategy. Now, look, we might be overthinking it. It might be illegal in the NBA, but certainly it's worth pondering. I mean, I'm sure someone like Plungefather would absolutely salivate over this sort of question and do the research. I know he's got a whole band of buddies that love the research side of things. We've given him a data analysis channel in my Discord just to keep him away from everyone else, because they're like that. I do venture in there just to post a random comment once in a while, just so it looks like I actually enjoy their company. Similar to what you guys do to my YouTube channel, just post fucking 40 comments there just to win a $4 moment. But so yeah, back to the original question. It's a good one because I would absolutely love to pull that strategy off to prove the rest of the world wrong. I do think it's a technical foul. I don't know, but I do think that's the case. Chris Mazzone, if you were forced to choose, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck? Mine went somewhere else again. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 1,000 duck-sized horses? Man, you're trying to screw with my brain here. So would I fight one horse-sized duck, so massive duck, or would I fight 1,000 duck-sized horses? I mean, it depends if I had any weapons, really. So assuming I have no weapons, and I had 1,000 little ponies coming at me, I mean, they're pretty damn cute, so you wouldn't have any fear in you. If you had 1,000 horses coming in, you're a little, so you could probably kick the shit out of them. I mean, it'd be quite hilarious to see, all these little ponies flying up in the air. So I'd probably go with the 1,000 little, duck-sized ponies, to be honest with you. So Josh Wanderloo, if a dog wore pants, would he wear them like this, halfway up the body, or like this, from the ass back? Yeah. Well, given his private parts are at the back, I'd say probably to cover the private parts, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think that one's spot on. Legendary says, when Trae Young, Trae old? Honestly, man, he looks pretty old now these days. Give him a couple of years, he's going to be he'll have nothing on top. So give him a couple of years, he'll be Trae old. Is popped up ravioli? Oh, plunge. I don't know what that means. Is a hot? He's just gonna keep going, isn't he? Is a hot dog a sandwich? Not really. I mean, when I think of a sandwich, I think 2 bits of bread and stuff inside. So no, I don't think it's a hot dog is a sandwich. I know you're trying to get me back for what I said today. I know what you're doing. Will we see Trae? So Kai asks, will we see Trae versus Luka in NBA Finals in 5 years? That is a normal question, buddy. I said no serious questions. Will we see them in the finals? Probably not. I mean, Trae Young, I don't think so. I see Luka in the finals. I don't see Trae Young in the finals. Mainly because he plays in the East and my Miami Heat will never let that happen. That's why. Oh, look who it is again. Plunge. You're only allowed one question, by the way. I don't know if I put that in, but he's just going for gold here. What's your favorite guilty pleasure TV show? The one I can tell you about. What's my guilty pleasure? I don't mind like watching cartel type stuff. I enjoy some of those narco TV shows. One of my favorites is there's a lot of favorite ones, but probably more the crime ones. Like I forgot the ones. Oh, jeez, it'll come to me. It'll come. Might have to come back to that one, but I do want to tell you guys about it. I just forgot the name of it. It's set in the Old West, where they all congregate on this town, which they find gold. And, all these different characters set up shops, and some are miners, some are, owners of business, and it's a really fantastic show. But anyway, we're getting a bit serious now, so it's going to bother me now. I just can't think of it. So Goran asks, beer or wine? Look, why not both? And a bit of Hennessy. I don't drink a lot of beer. I drink a little bit of, like I said, Hennessy and bit of red wine every now and then. Just depends what you're eating, really. Again, that's a very serious question, so I'll give you a serious answer. Bank shot. Something I've been thinking about a lot. What pop culture IP would you want to see as an NFT collectible? Part 2 of the question. Okay, so part 2 of the question is, which one would you generate the most sales? I mean, look, my mind goes straight to NSYNC. I don't know why, but I would love to see that as an NFT collectible. So, some of their hits, I think it would all sell out instantly. Would you have an NSYNC type of moment, with some of those, whatever they, was it mid-90s? Fashion, music sense versus a LeBron Kobe tribute. I think a lot of bros would appreciate the NSYNC style as well. So I think that shit would completely sell out. I mean, if Dapper's not onto that, I'm going to email him right now. Let me just maybe make a note of that. Alright, done. Pivot. We need to pivot. Walnut. If you had to choose one 24 hours straight in TopShot Discord General, or 24 hours straight watching the worst movie you have ever seen, which would you choose and why? That's a good one. Would I spend 24 hours in general or watch the worst movie I've ever seen? I mean, if you spent 24 hours in general Discord of NBA TopShot, there's a very likely chance you would pass away. Like, I mean, the chance of that happening is probably like 99.99999% that you will like literally just keel over and die. So again, I have to look at the downside of that. I would probably have to go with watching a fucking scary movie. I hate scary movies. In this case, he said worst movie. So for me, it would be like some horror movie that would just probably make me poop my pants. I would still live through that. It'd be quite embarrassing, but with the Discord pits of hell, I venture in there, once a day for a little bit, just to shit stir you guys a little bit and have a little bit of fun. I would probably die being in there 24 hours straight. So that would not be a good thing. plunge again. Question 4. He's gonna get one of these right. Would you rather earn $1 for every step you take for the rest of your life, or $10 for every time you jump? What's the ratio? 10-1. I mean, if we're going to be serious about this, mate, you probably want to take the $1 for every step, because how often do you jump? I mean, someone like you who seems quite happy, you probably jump every 8 steps. So for you, it might make sense mathematically to do the jump. But for me, a bit more of a serious cat, so I'd probably go with the $1 per step. If I had my choice, really, I think virtual reality will, consume us all in a couple of years. So I'll probably take the clicks, $1 per click. Haven't we all fallen for some of those things? $1 per click traps. Trill. Give me your best starting 5 using only current athletes from other sports. Here's mine. Garrett Cole for point guard. Jesus. I don't know enough sports. I mean, like, starting 5. Point guard. Ty Lopez. Shooting guard. Is it Grant Cardone? And these are my favorite people. I sort of do tweet to them quite often. I cannot wait for the moment that these gentlemen, these fine human beings, come out with a TopShot, ebook or some course or something. Because I guarantee you, as soon as they come out, I'm going to pump one out just to beat them. That's going to be fun. So Grant Cardone, who we got at small forward. What's his name? Who are some of the motivational speakers? I forget what his name is. He's quite... Tony Robbins at small forward. Power forward. That's all I really know. Probably the guy from Subway. The guy who used to do he got in trouble with law a little bit. What's his name? And at center, these are obviously not sports people, so, it's a bit too serious. Let's go with something funny. At center, we'll have to go with Hakeem Olajuwon. We need a good center in this squad because these Muppets are going to ruin the team. So they'll just, do their own shilling, and we need someone to keep them grounded. So Hakeem would do that. He'd preach to them, He's a religious man, so he'd sit them down and go, guys, this... we are dealing with something serious here. If you don't change your ways, you're going to end up in hell, and you're going to end up just selling to the rest of the, criminals and whatever else, and it's just not going to end up well for you. So I think Hakeem would ground them quite well. All right, good question. I think that starting 5 would probably challenge, in a lot of different areas too. But Hakeem is the key. He is the centerpiece, literally, for that type of squad. So Jonathan Linkage asks, would you rather fight one Joel Embiid-sized Trae Young? Well, Trae Young's getting a lot of airtime here. Or 100 Trae Young-sized Joel Embiid's. Again, this is the whole pony thing. Or is it? Would you rather fight one Joel Embiid-sized Trae Young, so massive Trae Young, or 100 Trae Young-sized Embiid's? Would I fight? I mean, I'd prefer not to fight either of these because they'd probably whoop my ass. If I had to choose, I'd have to go with the one Embiid-sized Trae Young. I mean, at that size, he'd look even funnier with his sporadic mop up the top. It'd look hilarious. So I'd probably just laugh myself out of any serious fight, and he'd absolutely destroy me. But I'd have to go with that. Just 100 of those little bastards would be too much. Come on, dude. Plunge again. What's the largest land animal by mass that you could take in a hand-to-hand combat to death in a room the size of a high school gymnasium, wearing only what you're wearing now? The animal also knows it has to kill you. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm wearing just a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, so I've got no weapons on me. I mean, I've got a Hennessy bottle I'd probably do a lot of damage with. But assuming I can't have a drink beforehand, what's the largest land-sized animal that I could take on? I'd probably go with the Joel Embiid-sized Trae Young. I feel pretty confident about that. The more we talk this through, I think, just the sheer, that positivity about talking it through, working way, through some of the strategies, I reckon that I could probably take on one of those buggers. So plunge again. What's the smallest lump sum amount of money you'd take to agree to never earn another dollar in salary for the rest of your life? Yes, you can earn money on your current investments and any investments you make with lump sum, but no more salary. What's the smallest? I mean, what's the point of that question though? Could I solicit myself in other ways? Or is it just salary from my work? I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't thought about that one before, but it would have to be, some serious six figures because I'm quite young. I've got dreams. So if I was to fulfill those dreams, I've got a lot of friends now. Well, probably not as many as I thought after the pineapple joke. So, the 6 that I've got left, I'd like to visit them after COVID. So I'd probably need a couple $1 million to be able to fulfill some of those travel dreams. I'd like to have a car at some point in time. Or, at least a nice one. Maybe I could visit you someday wherever you're from. Hopefully from Florida. That I could sort of tick off a couple of goals. But yeah, so if I was to say goodbye to my 9 to 5, which again, I'm doing probably my best to get fired from, I would need a couple $1 million, knowing how, some of the investment earnings work and all the risk you're going to take on. Very serious question. So, quite a serious answer. I'd need a couple $1 million, my friend. Most of that would probably go straight to TopShot and an NSYNC project, but I feel very confident about that. So, you come across as an NSYNC type of guy, so I think we would click even more. How's that? I think there might have been a couple more that came in while we've been talking. That looks like it. That looks like it, my friends. That it is. Oh, goodness. That was fun. Oh, there is another one, I think. From Kentucky Buckeye. If you had 7,000 to invest in NBA TopShot moments, what would be the absolute worst way to spend that cash? 7,000. Jesus. Is this part of the joke? It is. 7,000 to spend on NBA TopShot moments. I mean, so seriously though, like anything you spend money on will be worth more in the future. What's the worst you could spend on the NBA TopShot? Probably Zeller moments. Right now, they're overpriced. I think I've sold most of mine. I got sniped on a couple of them, which is a bit of a joke. I mean, I hope that's an automated thing where I just listed a couple for like $32 and they got sniped. So eat that, sniper. But yeah, like probably some of those that have been blown out of proportion to, if you want a serious answer. But yeah, you really can't go wrong buying any TopShot moments right now. So with that, let's do the draw. So I got to add you to the draw as well, my friend. Where is this? So what are we giving away? For these comments. So we're giving away Brendan Ingram, Series 1, number 3075, which is worth about $70 thereabouts. US, which is probably worth about $8 million Australian. Where is this thing? Getting lost in my own crap. Oh, other screen. All right. So I've got to add. What was his name? Kentucky. We'll just put KB for the sake of saving 2 seconds. All right. So we'll shuffle. So we have 25 entries. I mean, I should have everyone in there. If I don't, yeah, bad luck. All right. So this is for that Brendan Ingram Series 1, 3075. Oh, keep going. God. Goran again. He won the last one too. So 25 and 1. This was not set up, unlike Plunger's little, giveaway today to his little data analyst buddy. Completely set up. I heard him talking in the data analysis channel, setting it up earlier today. True story, bro. All right. So Goran, congratulations again, buddy. So this one is the giveaway for my on the last video, the commentators, I think is the proper word for it. So basically every video that I make, I go back to the previous one and just pick out, obviously randomly, one of the lucky winners out of the comment section. So one per entry. And, it's lovely to read some of the comments. I mean, they're all completely fake, but it's fun. Anyway, completely fake. I'm on to you guys. So we're going to choose, actually, I haven't chosen a reward for you guys. All right. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Catch you around Discord.